Hello. Thanks for stopping by and welcome back to my channel. My name is Felix and today I'll be redesigning Niffty from Hazbin Hotel as if she were Vietnamese. In case you didn't know, this is the 6th episode of an ongoing series I'm making. So please be sure to check out the playlist in the description once this video is over. Now without further ado, let's get started with redesigning. Let's be honest. When we look at Niffty, is it really clear that she's an insect? I was pretty surprised to find out that she was one. I guess that explains her lack of feet with toes. But why did the creator shy away from giving her another pair of arms, or wings, or eyes, or even antennae? Anything remotely insect? Oh, that's right. This is Vivian Madrano and she has a very bad case of allergy towards designing what she says she'll design. Not to mention, pulling the Niffty is Japanese, presumably out of nowhere but her ass. I guess her design can make it somewhat clear that she's a housewife, or at least a maid. And I know, my design doesn't look like it fixes any of the problems I just listed. It even takes away the existing visual cues, if you could say so. But that's only when you don't know what's going on with my design choices. And now, I'm gonna show you the meaning of each detail. So first of all, you know for a fact that she's Vietnamese. It's in the title and intro, obviously. There's this fairy tale that us Vietnamese students learned in primary school, Nàng Tiên Ốc. I still remember it after all these years cause I remember really liking the visualization of the snail fairy. To give you a brief rundown, the tale is about an old woman who found a snail with a beautiful blue shell one day and decided to keep it. Whenever she leaves her house, she comes back with all the chores done and nails cooked. One day, she snooped back to discover that a girl emerges out of the snail's shell to do all her housework. The old woman broke the shell, preventing the girl from hiding again, and the two lived happily ever after as mother and daughter. It's a pretty sweet story written in poetry format for us to easily memorize. Now, what does this have to do with the redesigning Niffty? In the story, there was a girl that stepped out of the snail's shell. But my Niffty is this weirdly, barely humanoid snail. That is because when she was alive, she was delusional enough to think that she'd be the perfect housewife to whoever carries her home. She actually never got married because she was that one horrible person with little to no self-awareness. She was also not conventionally attractive enough, so men around her put her down because of her looks. And being a slimy, icky snail would be such a fitting punishment for someone with body dysmorphia like her. Moving on to what is she wearing? Originally, I was very stuck on this aspect of her design. This was my first concept of her, and it was basically the visualization of the snail fairy, but humanoid snail instead. She looked bland and my eyes kept going up here, and overall she didn't look good. Plus, putting her in a fancy áo tứ thân wouldn't really be convenient when she cleans the house. I then thought about putting her in áo bà ba, but I was then stuck again on making her bottom half snail foot or human legs with the shell on her back, cause we wear áo bà ba with trousers. But going for human legs is just very cheap. Oh, hello! I just wanted to inform you that you're now halfway through the video. Thank you so very much for sticking with me. If you took a few seconds of your time to go like this video as well as subscribing, I would appreciate it deeply as I don't receive monetary gain from YouTube, and doing so, you are actively encouraging me to keep going. I'd appreciate a lot as well if you could share this video to a friend. Now, I hope you enjoy the rest of today's video. It was until a month and a half ago that I saw this image on my laptop. It features southwestern Vietnamese women working with lotuses in flood season, and the skirts they're wearing are actually collected lotuses floating around them. It's such a beautiful picture. It demonstrated perfectly many aspects of our culture, our people, our jobs, and our food. When I saw this picture, I knew exactly what I'm putting my Niffty in, and there you have it! She still wears awaba, but instead of trousers, she wears a long skirt made up of lotuses. Her hairstyle is twin braids, because I've seen many girls in awaba don that style, as well as I think it'd be practical for working while still remaining cute. I used Alastor's color palette to make hers, because I've already planned this a far while back. I want them to have some form of similarity too, because he owns her soul. Focusing specifically on the blue shell, you might have noticed that it has glowing white cracks in Alastor's art, while in Niffty's, it has white line art altogether. That is because Alastor broke her shell, and the shell on her back is just a magical hologram either he or she projected for the viewer. Similarly to the fairy tale, Alastor broke Niffty's shell so she'd stay with him. And don't worry, I'm not writing romance into this, it's just a part of their deal and how Niffty's physiology work. Instead of Niffty signing off or shaking his hand, she gives him her shell. He magically sealed it together and keeps it by himself, so he'd always have a handmaiden ready, for that is her entire living space. Think of it as a spherical container that houses a creature that can go inside of your pocket. She emerges from and back into the shell by transforming into a blue mist. So Alastor gets her soul and her services as a maid. What does she get from him? Well, for starters, she gets an overlord's protection, and secondly, Alastor promises to give her the form she desires, i.e. a conventionally attractive girl, after she has proven herself worthy. How can she do so remains unclear, and whether or not he can actually do so is questionable. Though considering what happens by the end of the season finale, Alastor better uphold his end of the deal in the case that I keep the storyline as it is for my redesigns. Just another tidbit of information of why Alastor even bothered to agree on making a deal with Niffty. He pities the Southerners, seeing them misled of some sorts. He condescendingly cares for them, if you will. I will elaborate on this once I get to my husk redesign. Hope you enjoyed this brush sheet I made for this relatively short video. If you did, please like and share this video as well as commenting. It makes me really happy to read what you have to say for my drawings, and it boosts my motivation to keep creating a lot. If you want to support me even further, you can commission me for a drawing of your own. I have my DMs open on Discord and my email for that. Thank you so much for stopping by and staying to the end. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. See you next time.